Jane was the epitome of grace. Her laughter, like wind chimes, captivated all. Eyes, pools of endless blue, held a universe of secrets. Men were drawn to her, moths to a flickering flame. She moved with an ethereal grace, a gentle sway that turned heads wherever she went. Jane, though aware of her effect, remained untouched, a serene smile gracing her lips. The world was her stage, and she its most captivating player. Among her admirers was a young artist, Thomas. He was not just any artist, but one whose passion for his craft was evident in every stroke of his brush. Thomas had always been drawn to the beauty of the world around him, but there was something about Jane that captivated him in a way nothing else ever had. His heart ached to capture her essence on canvas. Every time he saw her, he felt a surge of inspiration, a burning desire to translate her beauty and spirit into his art. It wasn't just her physical appearance that intrigued him, but the aura she carried, the way she moved, and the light in her eyes. He saw beyond the surface, into the depths of her soul. Thomas believed that true art came from understanding the subject on a deeper level, and with Jane, he felt he was only scratching the surface. He spent hours observing her, trying to decipher the emotions behind her expressions, the stories behind her smiles. For him, she was a muse, an inspiration. She was the embodiment of everything he sought to express through his art. Her presence ignited a fire within him, pushing him to create, to explore new techniques, and to pour his heart and soul into his work. His studio was filled with her portraits, each one attempting to unravel the mystery that was Jane. Each painting was a testament to his dedication, his relentless pursuit of capturing her true essence. The walls of his studio were adorned with countless images of her, each one telling a different story, each one a piece of the puzzle that was Jane. He yearned to know her, to understand the thoughts behind those captivating eyes. Thomas spent sleepless nights pondering over his paintings, wondering if he had managed to capture even a fraction of her true self. He longed for a connection, a deeper understanding that went beyond the canvas. Thomas believed that love could be found in the strokes of his brush, in the way he captured her spirit on his canvas. He poured his heart into every painting, hoping that one day Jane would see herself through his eyes and understand the depth of his feelings for her. For Thomas, art was not just a profession, but a way to connect with the world, and with Jane, it was a way to express the love he felt so deeply. Lord Harrington, a man of immense wealth and considerable influence, was a figure who commanded respect and admiration wherever he went. His presence was always felt, whether he was attending a high society event or simply walking through the streets of London. His reputation as a shrewd businessman and a generous benefactor preceded him, making him one of the most sought-after bachelors in the city. Despite his many accomplishments and the power he wielded, there was something that had recently captured his attention in a way that nothing else had. He found himself utterly captivated by Jane, a young woman of remarkable beauty and grace. Her presence was like a breath of fresh air in his otherwise meticulously controlled life. In an effort to win her favor, Lord Harrington spared no expense. He showered her with lavish gifts, each more extravagant than the last. From exquisite jewelry to the finest silks, he presented her with tokens of his affection, each one a promise of a life filled with luxury and comfort. His gestures were grand, designed to impress and overwhelm. His intentions were clear from the start. Lord Harrington was not a man to be trifled with, and he made it known that he intended to possess Jane as one would a prized possession. To him, she was an enchanting creature, a rare gem that he desired to add to his collection. His determination was unwavering, and he pursued her with a single-minded focus. However, his view of Jane was not one of genuine affection or love. He saw her as a beautiful object, a trophy to be displayed on his arm at social gatherings. To Lord Harrington, Jane's value lay in her ability to enhance his own status and prestige. He admired her beauty, but his admiration was superficial, rooted in his desire to possess rather than to cherish. Despite his wealth and the power he wielded, Lord Harrington found himself facing an unexpected challenge. Jane's indifference to his advances was a blow to his ego. She remained unmoved by his grand gestures and extravagant gifts, her heart untouched by his attempts to win her over. For the first time in his life, Lord Harrington's power and influence seemed to mean little. But Lord Harrington was not a man to be easily deterred. He was used to getting what he wanted, and he was determined that Jane would be no exception. With a resolute expression, he began to plan his next move, convinced that he could find a way to win her over. His pursuit of Jane became a challenge, a test of his ability to bend the world to his will. And so the game began, with Lord Harrington determined to emerge victorious. Then there was Edward, a quiet scholar. He saw in Jane a kindred spirit, a mind as sharp as her beauty. Their conversations were filled with wit and laughter, a meeting of minds that transcended the superficial. Edward appreciated her intelligence, her quick wit, and the way her eyes sparkled when she spoke about something she loved. He represented a different kind of admirer, one who valued her mind as much as her beauty. Jane navigated these attentions with grace. She attended balls and soirees, a radiant presence that lit up every room. Yet behind her smile, a sense of detachment lingered. Men vied for her attention, showering her with compliments and invitations. She accepted their advances with a polite smile, but her heart remained untouched. The admiration, though flattering, felt hollow, failing to penetrate the wall around her heart. She found herself questioning their motives. Was it her true self they admired, or simply the image she presented? The line between genuine affection and superficial infatuation blurred, leaving her feeling lost. Jane longed for something more, a connection that ran deeper than fleeting glances and empty flattery. The weight of their expectations, the constant need to be admired, began to feel like a burden. One rainy afternoon, as she sat alone with a book, Edward found her. He didn't shower her with compliments, but instead engaged her in a conversation about her favorite author. In that moment, Jane felt seen. Edward's genuine interest, his ability to see past her beauty and connect with her intellect, was refreshing. For the first time, she felt a spark, a flicker of genuine connection. It was a turning point, a moment of clarity in a sea of superficiality. The realization dawned on Jane. Her beauty, though a gift, had become a gilded cage. It attracted attention but masked her true self. She vowed to live authentically, to value genuine connection above empty admiration. She would no longer be a passive recipient of adoration. Jane decided to use her influence, her voice, to make a difference in the world. Her beauty would no longer define her. It would be a tool to amplify her message. Looking into the mirror, Jane saw a different reflection. It wasn't just the physical changes that caught her eye, but the transformation that had taken place within her. The mirror had always been a silent witness to her journey, reflecting not just her outer appearance, but the myriad emotions and experiences that had shaped her. Each glance into the mirror was a moment of introspection, a chance to see beyond the surface and into the depths of her soul. The beauty remained, but it was now imbued with a newfound strength, a resilience that had been forged through trials and tribulations. Jane's smile was no longer just a superficial expression. It was a testament to her inner fortitude. She had faced challenges that had tested her limits, and each one had left an indelible mark on her character. The mirror reflected not just her physical beauty, but the strength that radiated from within, a depth that came from self-discovery. Jane had embarked on a journey of self-exploration, delving into the recesses of her mind and heart to uncover her true self. It was a journey fraught with uncertainty and doubt, but it was also one of profound revelation. She had learned to embrace her flaws and celebrate her strengths, understanding that they were all part of what made her unique. The mirror was a silent companion on this journey, reflecting her growth and evolution. She was no longer just a beautiful face, but a woman of substance, ready to embrace life on her own terms. Jane had shed the insecurities that once held her back, replacing them with a confidence that was unshakable. She stood tall, her reflection a testament to the woman she had become. The mirror no longer intimidated her. It was a source of empowerment, a reminder of her journey and the strength she had gained along the way. The journey had been long, but Jane had finally found herself. It was a path marked by both joy and sorrow, triumphs and setbacks. Each step had brought her closer to the woman she was meant to be. The mirror had been a constant companion, reflecting not just her physical changes, but the emotional and spiritual growth she had undergone. Jane's reflection was now one of contentment and peace, a woman who had come to terms with her past and was ready to embrace her future. She had learned that true beauty lay not just in physical appearance, but in the strength of one's character and the depth of one's heart. Jane's journey had taught her that beauty was not just skin deep, it was a reflection of one's inner self. The mirror had shown her that true beauty was about authenticity, about being true to oneself and embracing one's unique qualities. It was a lesson that had transformed her, making her see herself in a new light. But in the strength of one's character and the depth of one's heart, Jane's reflection was now one of a woman who had faced her fears and emerged stronger. Her eyes held a depth that spoke of wisdom and experience, a testament to the journey she had undertaken. The mirror reflected not just her outer beauty, but the inner strength that had been forged through her experiences. It was a beauty that was timeless, one that would endure long after the physical had faded. And that was a beauty that would last a lifetime. Jane's journey had taught her that true beauty was eternal, a reflection of one's inner self. The mirror had been a silent witness to her transformation, reflecting not just her physical changes, but the growth and evolution of her character. Jane's reflection was now one of lasting contentment, a woman who had found her true self and was ready to embrace the future with confidence and grace.